And we are live. What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Jarrell Miller and Anthony Joshua. The reason why this is a rehashed subject is because of a friend of the channel um, asked a very, very good question. Okay, very good question. He asked. He asked that if Jarrell Miller was taking all these drugs, all these PEDs, how did he expect with VADA, okay? VADA knowing that VADA would catch him taking these drugs, how was he going to expect to pass a drug test with all these fucking drugs in his system? Now, before when it happened, Thomas C. Counterpunch to you, brother. Before when this happened, everyone just kind of wrote it off like, okay, he's a fucking idiot, he's dumb, he's stupid, it's a this it was the dumbest thing to do to take these drugs knowing that you would get caught. So the question was, how is he going to expect to pass? You know what I mean? How is he going to expect to pass VADA with that? Vic, counterpoints to you from Ireland. Fatty McFly. Damn, everyone is scared of AJ. If you had to take three drugs in your system, obviously they feared something about that man. You know what I mean? I think what it was, maybe he talked a lot of shit, but then I think there's more to it. Let's talk about it. Vic, I'm drinking a Guinness. Morning from Liverpool, Red Maca. 12 on the chat. You guys, counterpunch to you. Salute. What if Jarrell Miller knew what he was doing? I mean, what else could you deal with? Could it be that it was just doing it all along? And good, man, yourself on again. Hell yeah, it's good. It's good stuff. Well, he could be doing it all along, but maybe he just started doing it. Who knows? See, Jarrell Miller, he didn't sign up for VADA, but then yet he knew VADA was going to control this. So maybe he didn't know the time frame on the type of test, since he never took the test. Maybe because of the stringent regularities of the test, like how long does the test go back? When you piss or you take blood or you take hair is always the longest because it has your DNA in the shit, right? So they can detect what's in your body. Leroy Hendricks, counterpunch to you, brother. Top of the morning. I know it's morning over there. It is 1:31 here, so it's still technically nighttime or whatnot. But you guys, rise and shine to you guys. But it's a good question, man, to bring up. It's a good topic. Like, did Jarrell Miller actually intend on fighting Joshua? Like, did he expect to go through these stringent drug tests? He sounds like he talks a lot of shit, but I don't know. Took drugs before that. He did not expect to get caught. He underestimated VADA and their abilities to catch people. Counterpunch. Maybe that's the case, But then think about it. He avoided VADA, right? He avoided VADA a long time ago. That's why he didn't want to become part of the WBC rankings, because he didn't want to sign up for VADA, the Clean Boxing Program. That's what it's called, okay? So he didn't want any parts of that. His excuse was, because I heard an interview that he was in. His excuse was he didn't want to pay VADA or pay the sanctioning fees to be in a higher rankings. But in actuality, it could have been because he knew he was going to have to get tested, where he was already cycling some shit on or cycling some shit off. That might have been the case. Maybe, Kung Skull Island 2017. Counterpunch to you, brother. It's It's crazy though because he did all the tests voluntary. So did he really think he wasn't going to get caught, or did he think the tests were going to show? It's very strange. Three different PEDs. Yeah, it's just crazy. Tony Issue, Halstead, E6, UK, E6, right? No, E6. That's right. Counterpunch to you, brother. Even he got knocked out in the first round, Money in the Bank. Well, the thing is, you had to get past the fucking drug test, though, Leroy. You know what I mean? Maybe he didn't even intend on passing. Maybe it could just been some shit that, like, hey, I'm gonna take this shit no matter what. But then, but then, if I get past them, okay, I'm gonna prevail because I have the advantage because I'm cheating. But then, if I get caught, I expect I expected to get caught. Maybe he expected to get caught. You guys think maybe this dude just really he took all these drugs and just said, "Fuck it. If they catch it, they catch it. If they don't, they don't." That's what I'm thinking. I'm trying to wrap my head around this because that question was asked. I was like, "Well, damn, how did he expect to pass a VADA drug test?" Especially now, mind you, this guy has not ever taken a VADA test until he fought AJ. So he couldn't know too much about it. Maybe it was something that he heard, maybe. What do you think about Wilder and Ortiz 2? I think Wilder and Ortiz 2, I'm glad the fight's actually happening for the sake of Luis Ortiz. I think Wilder will win, but I hope Luis Ortiz will knock him out. Still, Kurt, I'm thinking he didn't want the fight for real. 3P. You know what I'm saying? LeBron 98-17. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that same shit. Like, well, maybe he didn't even. It just hit me. That shit's been months ago. But now I think about it. Richard Smith, counterpunch to you, brother. Um, Maybe he didn't want it anyway, right? Maybe he didn't even want that fight. Because look at all the shit he was talking. Let's put that in a pot, right? We're starting a pot of things that could be. And it tastes like something that seems like he's scared to me. He seems scared. Like that could have just been, I want out. I'm not ready. I'm just talking shit. I'm talking shit because I know I'm taking these PEDs. Maybe he was just hoping that he wouldn't get caught. Maybe that was the case. You know what I'm saying? Like, well, maybe he was hoping that maybe somebody, um, I don't know, for whatever reason, the test, came back and he won. But it's crazy. Non-so, counterpunch to you, brother. Jarrell Miller saw the Dillian White KO and saw his future. Ronnie Fraud, counterpunch to you. Yeah, maybe he did. Maybe he didn't want to go out like that on top of all the shit talk, on top of AJ and his mom, and he's talking about AJ's mom and all that shit. Chris Roberts, Ruiz versus Ortiz would be epic. Counterpunch. It would be epic. I would love to see that. I thought he was scared at first. Maybe he was scared. I don't think Jarrell Miller, I know people talk a good game and some people talk a good game, but then they're still dumb. You know what I'm saying? They still stupid. But then Jarrell Miller knew, okay, well, hey, I'm taking this shit. You know what I mean? You know? You know what I mean? Like, dude, did you really expect these people not to catch you when you're taking blood, you're taking urine, right? It's crazy. AJ was scared to fight White a second time. You think so? I don't know. I don't know if he was scared to fight him a second. I would you know what? For what we see now and what we have now, that wouldn't have been a bad route. However, if AJ fought Dillian White again this year, right? We can't get mad at Deontay Wilder for fighting Ortiz a second time. That would have been the only thing. I don't want to see redos. I want to see progression. I don't want to see the same fight that we already saw. If a guy gets knocked out, okay, you need to move to the other guy to see how you match up against that fighter, not a guy that you've already beat. That's just, to me, that's stagnant, you know? So, not saying that Dylan White couldn't knock out Joshua. Anybody can get knocked out in the heavyweight division. Look, it's being proven. It can happen. You don't get these notifications, right? With I don't know, man. I don't know what's up with YouTube, man. Look, dog, Joshua has bigger problems now. Let him deal with Ruiz first. You know, this isn't really about Ruiz and his thing going on now. Look, dog, it's really about what happened before Ruiz. You know, this is a prequel. This is a prequel discussion on what the hell did Jarrell Miller actually expect to happen when they did drug test him. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, you can say he's dumb or whatever, but where I'm getting with this is, if you know you're taking drugs, Jarrell Miller knew he was taking drugs. So if he knew he was taking drugs and he knew he was getting tested, mind you, why did he still go along with the test? He could have denied to take the test. He knew it was dirty. He knew he was going to get caught anyway. So if he knew he was going to get caught, how serious was he about fighting Joshua? Think about it. Like, how serious was that? Like, coming from a dude that already accused Joshua of fucking doping. This is what I'm talking about. I don't get what people, I don't see how Jarrell Miller with his shit, you know, like, I'm gonna knock you out, I want to punch you in the face. Maybe he didn't even intend on fighting Joshua. Maybe he just wanted to buzz. Maybe he wanted to go just as far as to convince people that he was going to fight Joshua, and then he jacked himself full of drugs so he couldn't fight him. You know what I'm saying? White could have replaced Ruiz easily. Ronnie Fraud, no, he couldn't have. Dillian White was not going to replace anybody. He said he did not want the April date. Now, June, they had already decided to fight Miller. But by that time, they went another route with Miller. So, no, I don't think that Dillian White would have been ready for that. You know, because his thing was the money. Everybody has their own deal, you know, and it was a bullshit deal. So you can't expect people not to call them low balls, though, when Dillian White was like, okay, well, how much money would I get if I beat him? See, that's something Ruiz didn't cover. You know, that's what put him in that spot. Doesn't matter, White pops pills. Yeah, it really does. You know, if you, especially your heavyweight, man. I believe that the majority of them juice. You sound like Bruce fucking Vane, Kong Skull Islands 2017. And you don't know. They may. This is what I'll say, and this is what I told Bruce Vane. I said, I think that all of these guys take something that gives them an edge, does something that gives them an edge, you know? And one thing that people are learning, that is banned substances that people don't even know. They're not even registered yet. So are they really cheating? How much of an edge are they really getting from taking these performance enhancing drugs? Like, you got to have a limit on the shit. I guess maybe it depends on what type of substance it's on. Is it a stimulant? You know, is it a fat reducer? You know, is it a diuretic? What does it do for you you know, that's so complicated. Exactly. It does not make sense to rerun fights that have happened already. Also, they have already fought. Lee Gibson, it didn't. I didn't want to see that. I did not want to see Anthony Joshua versus Dillian White. You know why? Because Anthony Joshua is from Britain, Dillian White is from Britain. So then it will turn into a type of fight like Dillian White had with Chisora, which was also unnecessary. It was entertaining, but Dillian White should have fought Ortiz. Then if Ortiz would have beat Dillian White, there would have been no Dillian White. But that did not happen. That wasn't really pushed to the limit. And I think the reason, because I think it's Eddie Hearn, right? Eddie Hearn did not want Luis Ortiz fighting Dillian White. Maybe Dillian White wanted to fight him. We know Anthony Joshua wanted to fight him. But I think Eddie Hearn had his ways of knowing, hey, we're not fucking with that guy. You know, they're pulling a Errol Spence shit now, right? He don't sell enough tickets. He ain't worth the fight. You know, I honestly believe that. I think Eddie Hearn didn't want Ortiz anywhere near that. Jimmy Ola, no sleep right now. I might go in maybe an hour. No sleep. The majority of boxers are taking pads. If they say Miller all talk, he was scared. Look, dog, he might have been scared. You know, he might have been scared. That's probably why he started Jack. Think about it. Let's say Jarrell Miller was taking that GHW 1615 shit, right? Let's say he was taking that. He was only taking that. Well, do you think he was really doing a cocktail? I think he started taking more shit when he found out he had the Anthony Joshua fight. But then I don't see how he could have got himself out or figured he was going to get himself cleared to fight Anthony Joshua for all these millions of dollars, all this shit's at stake, all these belts on the line. Do you think that this guy was actually going to let you get in the ring with all them fucking like illegal supplements in you? Because at the end of the day, that's all it is. It's supplements, people. Some kind of supplement, some kind of substance that gives you a higher heart rate or fat burning, diuretic, you know what I mean? More testosterone. All types of shit is added on that bans list. But a lot of times they have to find out what it does to a certain fighter before they can ban it. You know, it has to be ruled by the FCC that it's not worth a shit, so you shouldn't try it. You shouldn't do it. But Jarrell Miller did it anyway. He knew all those things were on the list. And he's no stranger from drug tests. So it's hard to believe that this dude that knew AJ, remember in the press conference? AJ's fucking ducking. He's not ducking, but he's juicing. Nobody gets that big that fast. Nobody natural, bro. Please. I know the stories on you. How can you know the stories on a person when you're not even practicing? Even if, because think about it. If a person's cheating, like Memo Heredia, you remember him? That's the guy that Anthony Joshua called out to, right? Those guys knew how to cheat, and they had to go on stand to say, hey, we knew how to mix drugs to Olympians. We know how to give them drugs. We knew how to cycle them off them drugs. We knew how to pass drug tests. So if Jarrell Miller is about that life, if Jarrell Miller was a guy that knew what the hell he was doing, he wouldn't have got caught. So the question is, I think he's smarter than that, people. I really think Jarrell Miller is smarter than that. Kyle Khan, good morning, people. First, what's good? Man, everything's good, brother. Everything's good today. How much do you think Ortiz getting for the fight? I think between 2 or 3 million. Ugh, I hope he's getting 2 or 3 million. You know what I mean? But you know what? If it's anything less than that, I want you guys to hear me out. I might have said this before, but I'm saying it again. If Ortiz gets 2 million, 2.5, I think they'll hide it for a while. I think they will hide that number or that fight purse that he had. I believe that. I'll be very shocked if they only gave Ortiz 3, Deontay Wilder 10. You know what I'm saying? Something like that. Dillian White is on TV. Lot at present, not boxing, cooking on Celebrity Match. Yeah, I think I've seen something about that. So he's trying to relax and trying to, go through that. I know he likes to eat because he blows up in between training camp too much. If you see Dillian White on fight night, he could balloon up 20 pounds, Kurt claims Ortiz people made him miss out on an opportunity at an AJ fight. How could you trust the team after a payday miss like that? Ronnie Fraud, that's what I'm talking about. You so pissed. You're so disappointed in a team that's supposed to have been for you, but they let that fucking $7 million. They let $7 fucking million go down the tubes. And you're right. You're right, Ronnie. Like, why wouldn't he? You know what? Fuck y'all. I'm not talking to y'all. I'm packing shit up and I'm leaving. I'm going to another part of I'm going to another part of another fucking promotional company. you know, I'm going to that. I'm not messing with you guys. So it's like you still got the same people though. It doesn't make any sense. It really doesn't. You know, Bruce Vane is biased. I don't know. A guy like that, I think he speaks his mind. I think he says what's on his mind. I don't think he's biased. He just sees some shit and he analyzes it. I think Bruce Vane is a pragmatist. Honestly, I think he's a pragmatist. He sees some shit and like, okay, this is how I feel about it. Here you go. You know, I don't think pragmatists can really be biased. Because if you look at certain things, Eddie Hearn and Shelley Finkel equals corrupt. Ooh. Now we getting somewhere. Floyd only had one rematch. He did. He only had one rematch. How much of payday could Ortiz have made fighting AJ over Wilder? We don't know what his fight purse is, Ronnie. We don't know yet. Chris Serrano, counterpunch to you, brother. You better not duck me, son. King Skull Island, check your facts, brother. Okay. Soon enough, cyborgs are going to be fighting in the ring. Damn, I hope not. That'd be fucked up if all the cyborgs come from the Ukraine. you know? Big D's, Jarrell never got busted till that fight with AJ. Some people intentionally shoot themselves in the foot just to duck an opponent and blame it all on the la alcohol. You know what, Big D's? That's exactly why we're here. That's exactly why we're having this conversation. Because it's like, okay. But then again, you got to remember something. VADA was not pressed upon people unless you signed up for the WBC, which when you did that, you automatically signed yourself up from the clean boxing program. So since he didn't do that shit, we don't know how dirty he was. Again, he knows about certain things. A lot of these dudes know what to do and when to do. They know the right thing and the wrong thing. Praise the one that just like decides to do it the right way. But it's enough of these guys that's like, hey man, you need to get on this here. This will help your endurance. This help you. You know what I'm saying? Like those type of things. And then they find out that shit's on the banned substance list. They get disqualified, right? The heavyweight division is on Dem Street. I mean, it will be until the end of this year. Scott Silman, what's up, Kurt? Good morning from the Swansea, Wales. Okay, cool. Swansea, Wales. Question for you: if all the top heavyweights were trump cards, what would be your honest ascending order? Ah, man, I don't really know. Honestly, I don't know. I think Scott, I think you should ask me in February. Ask me in late February, and I could give you a full assessment because it's just too much. It's a loaded question. Well, Holyfield trained with a bodybuilder, and we know what that they take. Okay, well, you know, Holyfield looked like a bodybuilder. You know. Has Counterpunch explained why Miller would avoid an extremely big payday? Miller would have really taken a dive and barely begin to cost him. Look, you look at it like this though. Think about Jarrell Miller. What is he doing right now when he didn't get the fight? Let's look at his options now. He was in talks of fighting Fury or whatnot, but then it was Fury, then it was, getting back into the ring. It was Joe Joyce, It was something smaller, something bigger. Now AJ hasn't just destroyed the maybe the possibility he hasn't destroyed the possibility of fighting Jarrell Miller. I think Jarrell Miller is a guy that can um, moonshine blaze underscore counterpunch. But I don't know. I don't think he did. I think he wanted out. You know what I'm saying? Like I think he wanted out. Lex Game and YT, he's gonna upset Wilder. Man, I hope so. You know, I will sing old Cuban song if that happens. I will do it live. It's by Benny More. He's a Cuban um, singer. He sung everything: Monturo, son, salsa, la timba, all this. If he wins, I'm gonna sing that shit live. I'm gonna pull a Tyson Fury if that happens. Lex Game and YT. But Ortiz is just too old now, won't last five. Okay, gentleman game. Let's hope he knocks him out in five. I would love to see Cuba versus Mexico. I would love to see that too. I hate blue bloods. I don't hate blue bloods. He's a hustling dude. He's just a biased LDBC guy. Yeah, like all of those guys' channels are alike, but they're a little different. I don't hate the guy though. It is what it is. I like to have a different perspective. If everybody said the same shit, it would be boring. You know, I just hate his biased. I just want those type of guys like that to really believe what they really say. Are they saying that shit for views or for recognition or to get interviews with these guys? Or really, do they really honestly believe the shit that's coming out of their mouth? You know? Danny Dubois versus Usyk or Miller. Oh, I don't know. Danny Dubois is a big guy. Usyk got to be careful. Miller versus Dubois would be. Ooh, you know what? I would like to see that over Joe Joyce. I want to see how Jarrell Miller does against the guy. Akon. Yes, I am. I'm drinking a Guinness. Hey, what in the heavyweight division? Anything can happen. That's right. Miller trained in Belle Francis gym, the mecca of the bodybuilding, with Mr. Olympia guys. So he knows. He knows the stories. Those guys sit around in circles and shit in the gym and talk about ways you can cheat. You know what I mean? Now let's see. Harsh Sanka, good question. Okay, let's see. Let's find. Now, Miller would avoid an extremely big payday. Miller would have been taking a dive than to deliberately get caught. I think I did counterpunch that, but maybe it wasn't about the money. Maybe it was about what he knew he couldn't do at that time. I mean, think about it. How can you be that dumb? Maybe this was deliberate. Because we can say, oh man, well, why would he piss over all that money? Easy. If he thought that he can get it in an easier fashion. Besides, fight a gold Olympian, undefeated fighter like AJ was. But now, okay. Because what it is, think about it like this. Let's look at it like this. AJ was not supposed to lose, right? He wasn't supposed to lose to Andy Ruiz, right? Man, the solo edge counterpunch to you. Um, so if he intended on getting busted, knowing what the protocol and the rules were to get busted, only 6 months, half a year, right? Maybe he intended on that happening. Because you remember when Ruiz beat Joshua, and remember the expression that Jarrell Miller had on Instagram. He's like, the motherfucker was speechless. But then it's like, okay, why would you feel that way then? I know he did the little apology and shit like that. You know, he did the apology, but he wasn't nearly as remorseful as he was when Ruiz beat Joshua. It seems like your own opportunity that you missed, you would be more devastated. You know, I made a bad call. So it was like Miller was actually more upset when Ruiz won versus he was upset when he found out that he had popped dirty. You see what I'm saying? He wasn't that upset if you think about it. He was more upset when he found out that Ruiz upset Joshua. So let's say Joshua would have beat Ruiz, and then there was no Deontay because Deontay, of course, was fucking fighting Luis Ortiz again, and then Fury after that. So we knew Joshua didn't have anyone to fight. So why not come back in the in 6 months or whatever at the end of the year and possibly get a fight with Anthony Joshua when your shit's clear? You know that might have been the case. Ruiz is going crazy with all that money, kind of like McGregor. Yeah, he ain't got as near as McGregor made though. McGregor made like $80 million, dude. Like what the fuck, you know? Get the fuck out of here. Miller looked like he was ready to sell his soul to get back with Eddie. Yeah, he did. He did a lot of ass kissing, didn't he? That dude, like Jarrell Miller, he told his motherfucker he want to come home. What the fuck is that? I want to come home. I want to come home. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking? Dude, he wants another opportunity. He ain't got to say all that shit. He was brown nosing big time. I definitely agree. He was brown nosing his ass off. The big B great counterpunch, Kurt. I have said that before Miller intentionally got caught. Ooh, he had it in Night of the Beast in Joshua after the thump Joshua of the chest at the press conference. Man, there's no telling. You know, he might have been. A lot of people might think that he is this guy that maliciously tried to cheat, but you got to be smart about cheating. It's not what you do; it's how you do it. How you gonna get caught with three different substances? So if you get caught with three different substances, maybe maybe he had more in his system that you didn't know about. Maybe he was a walking fucking pharmacy. He was with three in him already. Doing what he does, he's supposed to be a clean fighter that fights by the book and obeys the rules. He did nothing of the sort. He got caught with three substances, you know? Yeah, he was going to go for his head. He was going to go for him. He had pissed him off, Waylo 83. Got to go to work. Got to have to catch up with the video later. Waylo 83, it'll be here when you get back, brother. Counterpuncher, you have a great day at work. Great. Miller would always say AJ's too stiff, robotic. If it would be easy in fighting New York, would it be Miller's backyard with all the confidence? Why cheat? He wanted out plain as day. See, maybe he did want plain. He wanted out. You know? McGregor impersonation. That dude's he's a live wire, man. Hashtag Robert Joshua. Andy was on the Mike Tyson hot boxing tonight. Yeah, I'm gonna counterpunch that later. I was gonna do it before, but I was like, nah, I gotta go live. You know what I mean? Yeah, but definitely Aquarius love. I'm gonna counterpunch that probably when I wake up. When I'm gonna be comatose, probably about 20 minutes. Because I can feel it. Kurt, do you think 6 months was enough punishment? I don't. No, it's not enough for any of these guys, Candy Crush. None of that shit. These motherfuckers be taking shit, and they know they're taking it, and they know it's banned. So if you know it's banned, and no one's doing nothing about it, so and there's no punishment for it, what's going to stop you from really doing it again? Really? And then by the time they do it again, they already know, why I did it this way. I'm going to do it that way next time, but I'm going to still take this fucking pill, right? What do you think about Is it Dubois? Yeah, yeah. Is he the new threat to the top three? You know what? Rygar, I don't know. We just got to see. You know, some people can't handle the pressure. All these boxers calling out AJ. They feel that they have the blueprint to beat him because of Andy, or was it an off night? It could have been all the above. Could have been an off night. He could have had a lot of pressure on him. He could have been concussed. He could have been too relaxed. He could have been disarmed. He could have just did every fucking thing wrong. He did what the trainer told him to do, which was wrong also. So yeah, Deontay fought Uber drivers and club bouncers. Yeah, he did. Parker doesn't get his just due. Parker versus Wilder. I want to see Wilder start challenging people. I think what he tried to do, Wilder tried to duplicate the success he got for fighting Ortiz. And it was a strategy that they thought would happen, but we don't know how it will. Me outside looking in, no, it won't. This shit won't go as well as people think it is, you know? And I don't even like things not to sell, but people need to be put in their place and people need to see the reality that's in front of them. You know, if people uh, fire stick the fight between uh, Ortiz and Wilder, that would be wrong. But people, that ain't gonna stop people from doing it. I admit your new intro. Okay, I'm digging it. Well, not new anymore, but it caught me off guard. Big D's, appreciate it, man. I'm gonna actually add more to it. You know, not too much longer, but more to that particular intro. I appreciate it. Let's stop disrespecting Uber drivers. I know some tough ones. I know some tough ones also. Waterfalls cruiserweights and fought 8 out of 10 rounds bouts for 25 plus fights. Warner has never in his life unified any belt. So why is this Joker always screaming one face, one name? He's screaming that because the titles have changed. He knows there's a good chance that Ruiz, there's a chance Ruiz will beat Joshua again. Then he's going after the belts because he doesn't have to worry about his tall British rival anymore. Bottom line, the boxers Wilder beat those fights should honestly be on ESPN or Fox, but paying for them fights, we already saw it in ways. We did. See it, speak it, then leave it. Damn. Wow, it's crazy. It's crazy. But no, I think Jarrell Miller, honestly, I think that he is a good chance that he knew that he was dirty. Is a good chance that he already planned that. He wanted to get out of that ring. I don't know. The question would be if he did do that intentionally, what would have been his angle? Like who, would he tell his close friends or whatever? Like, I don't know. If he intended on doing that type of stuff, it's crazy, man. Why is Ruiz unified champ? He never unified. He just beat the guy who did. Shouldn't he be just a champ until he gets another belt? No, 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 no. Vic, that's the thing about pressure. Everything was on Anthony Joshua that night. He had 4 out of the 3 major belts. You know what I mean? He had that. So he had those belts. That means he had that burden. He had that responsibility. If he lost to someone, they all have those belts. It's shitty, but it is what it is. The hard effort it took him to get all them damn belts is this, it can all end in one night like we seen on June 1st. Facts. My final question: with the amount of tomato cans that Wilder beat, is his legacy turning into leaves? How do you see his legacy turning? Well, I don't know. I think Deontay Wilder, he just needs to fight more people. But he's doing it now, so he's taking a revolutionized stage in his life. Miller, Ortiz, and Canelo were framed. Okay, manda solo es. Why don't you add White to that? you know. But yeah, I think that is a good chance that Jarrell Miller did not have any intention on fighting Anthony Joshua. I think that now because he wasn't as upset as he was um, getting busted. He should have been devastated, but he really wasn't. He was more devastated when he found out Ruiz won. You see what I mean? So it's like, well, wait a minute, that's crazy. Why would you be pissed at him? Because he knew that's something he could have done if he didn't cheat. But then it's like, did you intentionally throw that fight? Because he's getting a lot of offers now. Long time subscriber, first time on live chat, love your channel. D115X counterpunch to you, brother. Um, but no, I think that honestly, I think he cared about not losing. I think he's an undefeated fighter. He didn't want to lose like that. But then I'm thinking, like, if you're not gonna lose to Joshua, who the fuck are you gonna lose to? These guys have these big, big freaking egos, and it's crazy. Mike definitely framed. Had nothing about this since it came out. Love the channel, bro. Chris barely. It's just crazy with that too. That Dillian White issue. It's drugs and I don't know, man. And then they're putting a big hush on it. That would should be the first thing pushing. I don't know. Harsha Sankar or Sankar. I don't know. We're going on a minute. I don't know. Maybe he knew that I'm not even gonna be in this fight anyway. So it's one of those things, man. It's very plausible that he intentionally stopped it. He intentionally wanted the training camp to end. Miller would also lose by decision to AJ and survive, run his mouth some more. But he feared getting KO'd. Yeah. I think that was one of his worries. You know? It's just deep rooted shit. That's what happens in the sport of boxing. How should 220 shape out in the heavyweight division if you could see it go down? Tyson Fury fighting Deontay Wilder, who's the winner of that fights. Pulev or Usyk. Then Ruiz will have his own path. Floyd is calling out the young Lou. But no, Floyd is calling out the young Lou. That is a young Lou. But yeah, I think that Jarrell Big Baby Miller is a good chance that he just threw that fight and wanted a way out. That could have been the case. He probably wanted a way out. He said, you know what? I don't really want to fight this dude. I'm not feeling this dude. So you know what? I'm gonna end this. Ruiz to slap Wilder. He's got the temperament and gets close to Wilder. He turns up the heat. Wilder just needs one punch to change the dynamics of things. There's a lot of heavyweight fighters, though. I can't just say it's him, but at the end of the day, yeah. But um, but it is a good discussion about Jarrell Miller. Did he really take that? Was he hurting like he said he was? He's doing well, obviously. You know what I mean? Davi won. Chris Serrano, Waller versus Price, better. Yeah, it would be a nice scrap. Nice scrap. But guys, it's getting late. I just want to discuss this with you guys. I'm going to be comatose soon. Tell me what you think about Jarrell Miller. Did he take a dive? Did he not even take a dive. Shit, you had to be in there to take a dive, but did he sabotage his own opportunity? That's the question we're asking right now, So you guys let me know what you think. Of course, please subscribe. Everyone has been counterpunched. Peace.